What's going on? This is CJ Westcott with Westcott Entertainment, and today we're going to roll out a 4-part series on our YouTube channel just talking about ceremonies, right? Of course, we know the importance of ceremonies because without the ceremony, there's no marriage. Without the marriage, there's really no celebration, right? And the one thing I want to talk about is getting married at a house of worship or a chapel or a temple of some sort, or getting married on site at your venue. So maybe in the venue's ballroom, or the venue has a outdoor patio, or even on the beach. So a couple different options, right? And kind of how to make that decision as to what direction to go, right? The way I explain it to a lot is, if you come from a very religious family and maybe you have a particular church or a temple or a house of worship of some sort that is near and dear to not just your heart, but also maybe your grandparents, your parents, your aunts and uncles, and maybe you had some other rite of passages that happened throughout your life at that space, maybe it's a good idea to consider doing that, right? Whereas vice versa, if maybe you don't come from a very religious family and you're just looking for a very short and quick kind of ceremony, then of course getting married on site at the venue is also a great option, right? Some things to think about, of course, is getting married at your house of worship. Typically your chapels, your churches, your temples, all are beautiful spaces, right? Have a lot of wood, stained glass, so a lot of beautiful areas to take some great photos. Whereas typically if you get married on site at your venue, usually you're going to get married in a hotel ballroom, which of course a lot of the ballrooms are gorgeous, but they're just that. They're ballrooms. They're not, significant of a house of worship, right? So something to consider. Now do be mindful that some of the venues also do have those outdoor spaces that are really pretty. Some of them have outdoor spaces that maybe overlook the New York City skyline, or also, down here at the shore, we've got a lot of venues that have, beachfront property, so you can have that as well. So just, a couple things to keep in mind, when trying to make that decision. Also another thing to keep in mind is a matter of convenience, right? So if you're looking for a matter of convenience for your guests where you can just literally show up at your venue, ceremony happens, cocktail hour happens, and then of course goes right into our reception, super convenient, only have to stop at one area. Whereas typically if you get married, in your church or your temple or whatever it may be, usually that takes place earlier in the day. Then there's usually a gap of time in between the ceremony and then of course our cocktail hours. So sometimes some of those guests don't really have anywhere to go for those few hours. So it can be a little inconvenient for them. But again, all things just to consider when making the decision, as to what direction to go in. So yeah, that's it. Wedding ceremonies on site at the venue, house of worship, your choice. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, wedding related, entertainment related, ask me. If I know the answer, I'll gladly write you back. I'll do a video on it. If I don't know the answer, I'll find someone that does and get the answer. But if you do, shoot me an email, cj@goCWE.com. And of course, if you are still in the market for wedding entertainment, keep us in mind, Westcott Entertainment. Check us out on the web, goCWE.com. Thank you again for watching. See you next time.